Hey, how's your search for an e-learning authoring tool going? If you're here, it's probably because you've seen a demo of iSpring Suite, or maybe you're already using it, and you're wondering whether upgrading to the max version of the product is worth the money and suits your needs. Should you go for iSpring Suite 10 or iSpring Suite 10 Max? The first one comes at $770 per author per year, whereas the Max option comes at $970 per author per year. The difference between the two is that the iSpring Suite Max contains everything included in the iSpring Suite 10, plus essentially 3 add-ons: text-to-speech, content library, and iSpring Space, the online collaboration tool, including the cloud-based authoring tool. So are the $200 extra worth these add-on features? After a thorough review, I'll tell you what my opinion is. This video is sponsored by iSpring Solutions, who've provided me a free license to the iSpring Suite Max and have asked me to review their product. Rest assured that what I'm going to share here reflects my genuine opinion, including what I like and what I think should be improved. By the way, iSpring didn't review the content and didn't watch the video before publication. Let's start the review of iSpring Suite Max with the first feature, the content library. Let's open PowerPoint and start from a blank presentation. Once you've installed the iSpring Suite 10, you'll see a new tab appearing in PowerPoint. Say I want to create a course on conducting a sales call with a medical doctor. Okay, content library, but what content are we talking about? We have slide templates, characters, backgrounds, objects, and icons. Let's start by exploring the slide templates. If you want to get the most out of this video, you should follow along with me. You can test all the features that I'm going to show you by downloading the 14 days free trial of iSpring Suite Max. You'll find my affiliate link for the download in the description below. When you click on the button, a new window will appear. Let's see if I can find a template that I can use as a starting point for my course. You can choose from 24 available themes. I hope I've counted them correctly. From urban, light, workspace, technical support, office, and there's also a hospital theme that suits my needs. You can search for a specific theme, and you can also narrow down the search by slide type. For example, if you want an opening slide or a content slide. When you expand a theme, you have access to a number of slides that already constitute a good skeleton as a starting point for your course. You can pick the slides that you need and then click on Insert. I'll select 5 hospital theme slides and insert them in my presentation. For the sales call preparation step of my course, I'd like to insert the slide with paper and pen. This should give a good idea of the preparation work that is needed. So let me go back to the template slides and look for a good one. I like this one in the workplace theme. And click on Insert. Now if you notice, there is a green text box at the top right that indicates the downloads left for today. You can download up to 100 assets a day. It doesn't refer only to slides, but that's the cumulative number that includes also the other assets that I'll show you in a moment. When you've inserted your template slides, you can customize them as you would do with any PowerPoint presentation. For example, I can replace the image with a stock image from PowerPoint, change the text, colors, and if you have a branded color scheme and font, you can adapt the template to it by going to the PowerPoint Design tab. I can also change characters. Speaking of which, let's go have a look at the second type of content, that is characters. There's a huge number of available characters. You can search for a specific one or narrow down the selection in the tab here at the left. You can select gender, clothing, ethnicity, action, and emotion. In my course, I want to replace the nurse character with the one of a sales rep. So let me search for business, and I'll pick Lara. Each character is available with different expressions and positions. I'll choose this position for the first slide and click on Insert. Let me flip the image and make it approximately as big as the existing one. Here we are. Like this, it's good. Let's move on to the next slide and insert a picture of Lara in a different position. I'll now adapt the title slide and move on to the next content type, that is background. From the iSpring website, we learned that there are 230 backgrounds available. There are stores, public places, offices, public institutions, hospitals, and more. Among the hospital backgrounds, I'll choose this picture of a CT scan room. Once inserted the background, you can handle it as any other picture. Resize it, reposition it, crop it, and so on. And I will use this image to replace the background image of the title slide. The next content type is objects. Here you'll find 135 useful photos of office supplies, phones, tablets, and everything you need to make your course even more realistic. For example, I'll add a smartphone image, and on top of it insert the text "Prepare marketing collaterals." The last type of content is icons. Here you'll find 600 icons and a number of controls, like buttons, switches, checkboxes, and progress bars. I'll insert a rocket icon and add an entrance animation for when the course starts. And since I've started editing the animations, I'll also add an entrance effect for the bullet points in the other slides. All in all, the content library offers a large variety and number of assets to create your engaging e-learning courses. If you had to go search for stock images and purchase them, then time and money would add up quite quickly. iSpring updates their library every 1 to 2 months, so you will always find new content. I also like the fact that the content is very easily accessible through the iSpring PowerPoint extension. What I'd like to see improved is first, the 100 download limits for the assets. I found this quite strange, so I've contacted iSpring and asked them why. And they said that the limit is to prevent improper use of the library. Another limitation is that the content library doesn't offer any video content. However, iSpring said that this is on their roadmap, so it will be available in the future. If you're finding this video useful, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, so more people will have the chance to watch it. Thank you. Let's now move on to the second add-on feature, the text-to-speech. With iSpring Suite Max, you can turn text into voiceover. Let me go back to my presentation, and in the iSpring Suite 10 tab, select Manage Narration. A new window will appear. At the bottom, you'll find your slide timeline, where by default each slide has a duration of 5 seconds. At the top, click on Audio, and then Text-to-Speech. Here you can choose the language, and different types of female or male speakers, each one with 2 options, natural or standard voice. To get a feeling for how the voices sound, click on Preview Voice, and the standard message will be read. Let's listen to Evelyn's natural voice.
Hi, my name is Evelyn. I can easily convert your text to speech.
And now to Evelyn's standard voice.
Hi, my name is Evelyn. I can easily convert your text to speech.
All in all, I prefer the natural version of the voices, because to me they sound less robotic. To have the voice saying your text, just type it in the white box. Click on Insert, and now we have 2 options. We can insert the voice at the beginning of the slide, meaning that the voiceover will start as soon as the slide plays, or at the current cursor position. Let's play it.
Welcome to the course on how to conduct a sales call with a medical doctor.
It actually sounds quite good for a computer voice. If needed, I can take the clip and move it on the timeline, so that the voice will keep going to the next slide. Italian is my native language, so let me listen to it.
Benvenuto al corso. Come condurre una sales call con un medico.
Again, I have to say that's quite good. By the way, sales call is sales call, but we don't say that in Italian. Clips can also be edited. For example, by adding silence, adjusting volume, or reducing the noise. And these options seem to be most useful when you're importing a file from a pre-recorded human voiceover. Just want to show you one more thing with animations. So let me go to slide 2, where I have the bullet points appearing one after the other. I will add the text of the bullet points, insert the voiceover, and then click on Synchronize. You'll notice yellow markers appearing in the timeline, each of them corresponding to an animation. Just drag them to the relevant audio part, so your audio will be synchronized with the animation. And let's preview the course with voiceover.
What are your objectives? Do you expect any objection? Prepare a few questions to explore the needs. What's the most important thing you want to get by the end of the call?
Let's summarize. What I like is that already the fact that this tool is included in the iSpring Suite Max is a big plus. The fact that there are many speakers and many languages available is a real advantage if you're producing multilingual courses. What I'd like to see improved? Well, actually not much. Voices are still a little robotic, but that's the compromise you have to make. So it's not really a request to iSpring, but rather I hope the technology will make computer voices even more realistic. Let's now review the third add-on of the iSpring Suite Max. That's iSpring Space, the online collaboration tool. It basically serves 2 major purposes. The first is being a cloud space where you can publish your courses to and store the source files. You can collaborate with other authors or get links to your content to be shared with external reviewers. The other feature that's offered by iSpring Space is a cloud-based e-learning authoring tool that, as we'll see in a moment, can be very useful to quickly produce simple e-learning modules on the go. And let's go back to our PowerPoint course. Let's click on Publish, and here we have a few options: My Computer, iSpring Space that we'll cover in a second, iSpring Learn, that's iSpring LMS, which is a separate product, or you can export to your generic LMS or even as a video directly to YouTube. Let's choose to export to iSpring Space, and to be sure we have a backup, I'll select the Upload Source Files option. Click on Publish, and when done, click on Manage Course. This will automatically open the iSpring Space in a web browser window. The iSpring Space is organized in projects. You can see them as folders where you store relevant content that is related to a project. By publishing our course from PowerPoint to iSpring Space, a new project has been automatically created, and the published course has been placed in that project. If we right-click on it, a few options appear. We can preview it, same as we did in PowerPoint. We can add collaborators if we have other team members that have an iSpring account. Or we can share the link to let external users review the content even if they don't have an iSpring account. Just select Make Visible via Link, and then either copy the web link or the embed code to embed the course, for example on a website. If needed, you can also choose to restrict the course with password. The project has been created with the default name, so let me rename it to something that makes more sense. At the top right, we have the option to create a new folder within a project. We can also upload files to a project, but the formats are limited to PowerPoint, PDF, MP4, MP3 and MPKG formats. I'm not really sure about the use of uploading files, so that's a question mark for me. Next to Upload, we find the Create button. Here there are two options, Page and Quiz. So we're getting to the second major use of iSpring Space, that is the cloud-based authoring tool. Let's start by creating a page. In iSpring Space language, a page is a course. Let's give it a title, and I'll try to replicate a simpler version of the course that we did in PowerPoint. Here I can add a background image, but you can select only images from your drive, whereas there is no direct access to the content library, so I had to go back to my PowerPoint and save the CT scan room image to my C drive. In the preferences I can add opacity, like this we can better read the title, and also change the color of the opacity. I'll choose a medical green, but you can add your own color if needed. That's the introduction of the course, or page if you will. Sections or course lessons are called chapters in iSpring Space. A new chapter can easily be added by clicking on plus. So let me add a new chapter for each of the sections of my presentation. Let's have a look at what content we can add. I'll start from the first chapter, Prepare the Sales Goal. I'll type some text for the description and copy the 4 steps from the original PowerPoint presentation. If I select the text, we see that we have various formatting options, header 1 or header 2. Then there is quote type 1 and quote type 2. We can do bullet or ordered lists. We can add images, but again only from C drive, not from content library, and format them according to different sizes or positions. We can add videos but only with a link, meaning that we cannot upload our own videos from the C drive. We can attach any type of file. And going back to text, we have access to common formatting options, also including hyperlinks, color and text background. If we now preview the course as is, we have the player on the left showing the progress, and we can see as we move forward from one chapter to the other. The course is fully responsive and looks great on any device, like on a tablet and also on the phone. Let me add some text also to the second chapter and use this to show you the last type of content, that is the exercise. In an exercise, you can ask a question, like which of the following statements would you agree with, provide a few options, add a representative image, and also customize the correct or incorrect feedback. The question types include multiple choice, multiple response, and short answer, which is basically a fill-the-blank question. Not only you can upload an image for each question, but you can also add an image URL or add a video, and I'll link this question to one of my latest videos. At the bottom, we can access to the settings, where we can choose whether we want to shuffle answers and show correct answers. And now let's preview it. So we have our questions, we can play the video, and I'll know whether I've responded correctly or not, and I will also have the option to retake the exercise. However, the score is not recorded, so an exercise can't be used as a quiz with a pass-fail score that is recorded in an LMS. To do that, we'll have to create a separate quiz, as we'll see in a second. The exercise looks great on mobile too. Let's now go to the page settings, or in other words, the course settings, and decide whether we want a free or restricted navigation, chapter numbering, a button to move to the next chapter, and we can also disable the text selection and copying if we are worried that students can copy the content and share it inappropriately. The page theme can also be customized with colors and a few different fonts. And again, I'll select a green medical theme. Now the progress bar, chapter icons, and continue buttons are all green. Pages can be exported to LMS, and we can define whether the LMS will mark the course as complete if all the chapters have been taken by the students or only a limited number of them is sufficient. The last thing I'll do on this course is rename it. Let's now go to the Create button and instead of page, choose Quiz. A quiz looks almost identical to an exercise. The difference is that it has a title screen, but the question types are exactly the same. Multiple choice, multiple response, and short answer. And let me add a few questions and options. The other thing that is different from the exercise is the results screen. We can choose if we want to inform the learner about the pass-fail status or if we want the results to remain hidden. The main differences between a quiz and an exercise are in the settings. There are many more options for quizzes, and we can select the number of attempts. I decided it's just one for this quiz. The passing score, I'll leave it 80. I'll activate the shuffle questions option and I'll include a 10 minutes time limit. I'll leave the other two options as they are. For the design, we have the same options as for the page. Time now to preview the quiz. Time is starting, and let me see if I get it right. I've been lucky. We can now export the quiz to LMS where the results will be tracked. In summary, what I liked is that the authoring and end-user experience is very simple, smooth and responsive. I like the text formatting options that are richer compared to other alternative cloud-based authoring tools that I've tried. Another plus is that you can keep your courses organized in projects, and also the fact that you can set a time limit for the quiz. And lastly, the possibility that you can customize the player if you're a developer and are familiar with JavaScript. What I'd like to see improved is the possibility to add content directly from the content library. It would be nice to have some additional content and formatting options, like for example adding a color background to the sections, or more interactions like flashcards for example. Quizzes are nice, but questions are limited to single choice, multiple choice, and short answer. So it'd be good to have some more question types available, but I know that this is on iSpring development roadmap. Staying on quizzes, I'd like to have the possibility to add a tracked quiz directly into a page without having to create a separate module. And lastly, I'm not sure I'm understanding the limitation of uploading only certain file types to iSpring Space. Whew. Now I'm sure you want to know my answer to the question, is the iSpring Suite Max worth the additional $200? My answer is, it depends. You should definitely consider the Max option if you're developing many e-learning courses and you want to have easy access to content assets directly from the content library. You should go for Max if you work in a team and you want to collaborate with other authors on content creation. Max should be your choice if you want to develop micro-learning content with an easy cloud-based authoring tool. And lastly, you should go for Max if you need voiceover. For example, if you develop multilingual courses and you don't want to hire a professional to do the voiceover. Instead, you're probably good with just iSpring Suite 10, no Max, if you just need to create or convert your PowerPoint presentations into e-learnings. You don't need to collaborate with a team, all the content is already available to you, and you don't require a voiceover. Let me know in the comments below if you decide to go for iSpring Suite 10 or iSpring Suite Max. Whatever your choice is, if you want to support me so I can create more useful content, please use my affiliate link in the description below.
If you want to further elevate your remote working skills, watch this next video up here. Watch it now.